first, we'll go to the big show. It's Dave Mason.
The Big Show.
Always glad to be joined by the manager of the sports book at betonline.ag. You know I tell you guys about him all the time, and Dave has joined us a number of times on the Even Money podcast, but never really here on the Ross Tucker Football podcast. But as sports betting going more and more mainstream, wanted to at least get Dave on here a couple times just to get kind of a feel for the lay of the land for this season, Dave. So, I know a lot of people on the Ross Tucker Football podcast aren't as familiar, with sports betting, and maybe they're just kind of getting into it now. So why don't I start, Dave? Which teams this year have been most bet so far? As we sit here August 20th, the most money has come in one way or the other on their season win total numbers, because it seems like that's the most popular preseason bet, is just looking at teams, seeing what the line is for how many games they'll win or lose, and then picking the over or the under.
Right, that is a very popular way, along with the Super Bowl and the conference and the divisions. But yeah, season wins is always very popular. Season wins, it comes to betting season wins, it's very similar to a game total. People like the players like to bet the overs. No difference here. First, there's some sharp action too. Sharps love these season win totals. We had sharp action on the Bills under 6.5. That's what it opened up at. They're all the way down to 5.5. Seattle under 8.5. That's down to 8 wins. As far as public plays, the Patriots over, of course. People are always betting the Patriots over. The Browns over, that got bet. The bettors are really strong on the Browns this year. I mean, that they're our biggest Super Bowl liability. They're our biggest liability for conference champion. The conference champions for the AFC. They're the biggest liability out of any of the divisions to win the AFC North. So people are big on the Browns this year. Some other teams are exposed on the Texans over. That's a big exposure. The Rams early, we got bet on the Rams over a lot. The Rams are a hot team that people are betting. The Saints over. So those are some of the biggest exposures for season win totals.
And usually, Dave, people are more likely to bet the over than the under, right?
Yeah, it's just like a game total, just like a total for a Monday Night Football game. Most people are betting the overs, and that's similar here. People usually bet the overs. We're usually rooting for the unders in the games and unders for the season win totals as well, and that's no different here.
What about so far, through a couple weeks of the preseason? Have you seen any movement for any of these teams through the first 2 weeks? Maybe the teams with the rookie quarterbacks. Have you noticed any changes through the first couple weeks? I know you said Seattle a little bit. Have you noticed any changes based on the first couple weeks of the preseason?
Season win totals, not a whole heck of a lot. Texans moved a little bit. The Browns moved a little bit. But Browns have moved over they started 4.5 and they're up to 5.5 over -150. The Texans have moved down a little bit, but the spreads have moved a little bit, but not so much. Not too much on the season win totals. The action's really moving that a little bit more, and like I said, most of the action is yet to come in too. It's even though these have been up for months. I mean, with all the football bettors returning this week, next week, and the following week, we've yet to book about 80% of the action on these two, so there's still a lot of movement to come.